There are multiple reasons why I decided to use the BrainChild Nutritionals. As a naturopathic medical doctor and being involved in the community of autism and biomedical intervention, I had access to lots and lots and lots of products. But in my opinion, BrainChild Nutritionals provides the highest quality raw materials. They provide minimal processing methods without destroying the product. And the Inform is a chelated liquid that actually has an incredibly high absorption and bioavailability rate. Bottom line, it works better than anything I've ever used, and that's what I'm looking for. BrainChild nutritional supplements are not only beneficial to children with autism, they're beneficial to every human being that walks the planet. They provide the resources that the body needs to function at a subcellular level in a form that is incredibly available, not only absorption-wise, but it's also available to the cell for function immediately once it enters the body. So I recommend it for all of my patients. I chose to use BrainChild nutritional products originally because of the philosophy of the company and the philosophy of blending multiple therapies together. I love the fact that they provide the core resources. I love the fact that they chelate them. I love the fact that they add a proprietary herbal blend to target the gastrointestinal function as well as the subcellular function. So you're covering a gamut of physiologic and metabolic functions in the body, which is absolutely necessary if you're ever going to get to the root of the problem. I continue to use them because of the results that I saw, not only in the children that I work with, but also in the adults and the older population as well. I've had people with fibromyalgia, people with chronic fatigue syndrome, people with rheumatoid arthritis express major improvements with pain, improvements with cognition, improvements with overall general feeling of well-being. In the children, I see dramatic clinical presentation improvements. I have had children that have actually overcome the inability to speak. Their subcellular function is upregulated, and so those metabolic pathways start to function, their detox pathways start to function, and their overall systems start to function. So they actually start to speak. One little girl had poor balance because she was so dysregulated, and that improved. She got her balance back, became verbal. Her body was able to detox itself more effectively. The BrainChild Nutritional is a chelated liquid vitamin, and in that form it provides the body a very absorptive, we're looking at probably close to 100% absorption rate, very, very quick amount of time. But not only that, absorption is one factor, but bioavailability, the ability for the body to actually grab a hold of it, draw it into the cell, down into those micro-metabolic pathways like the Krebs cycle, and drive that function. If the Krebs cycle doesn't have the resources, the metabolic resources it needs, which the BrainChild Nutritionals provide, then that Krebs cycle is not going to function right, and then that's not going to drive the cell function at optimal levels. Therefore, you're not going to have a tissue function or organ function or system function that's driven at optimal levels. So by providing the BrainChild Nutritionals in that form to the body, it's able to reach into the cell, into the Krebs cycle, drive those core metabolic pathways, thus increasing the cell function to optimal capacity, which increases the tissue function, the organ function, and the system function, and the body starts to function like it should. BrainChild Nutritionals are not only used in my practice for children with autism. I use BrainChild Nutritionals as my sole multivitamin because of the benefits that I've seen it bring to the patients that I work with. I work with patients that have challenges, physical health problems, anywhere from colds and flus all the way to cancer, actually, and anything in between: fibromyalgia, lupus, chronic fatigue syndrome, hypothyroidism, adrenal fatigue, and you name it, pretty much A to Z. And I recommend the BrainChild Nutritionals on a treatment sheet to every patient that I see as my primary choice for metabolic resources to address their metabolic function. And I have seen the benefit for these people across the board. I've never had anybody that hasn't benefited from taking the BrainChild Nutritionals in a quite dramatic way.